Students, our next topic it is determining the significant digit rules. Okay. So we see one by one. All the non-zero digits are significant. How? Let us see what example. Let us see. We can take one example. Suppose I can write 3 digit. So all digits are non-zero. So here we can conclude that all the digits are significant. Okay, so here significant digit it is 3. Okay, then second is all the zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. So now the second is all the zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. So suppose we take one number, that is 24700008. So the two non-zero digit, all the zeros between two non-digits are significant. So here significant figure or significant number is 24700008. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 significant numbers. Okay, and the third point is the trailing zero in a number without decimal point are not significant. The trailing zero in a number without a decimal point are non-significant. So let us take one example. So that is here given. Suppose 1 2 3 meter. Okay, now we convert into centimeter. So we can get 12300 centimeter. So we have given that the trailing zero in a number without a decimal point. Here see this, we have no any decimal point here. So we conclude that these two zeros are not significant. So here only significant digit it is 3, that is 1 2 3. Okay. Now the fourth one is, if the number is less than 1, the zeros on the right of the decimal point but to the left of the first non-zero digit are not significant. Okay, again we can read this. If the number is less than 1, the zero on the right of the decimal point but the left of the first non-zero digit are not significant. So we can take one example. So that is here given 0.00238. So here if the number is less than 1, the zeros on the right of the decimal point but to the left of the first non-zero digit are not significant. So here we can conclude from the rules that these three zeros are not significant. Okay. Okay, the fifth point is, in the number with the decimal point trailing zero are significant. So we take one example, that is 0.06990. Okay, so first decimal point or first zero are non-significant and the trailing zero are significant. So here the total number of significant figure are 4. Okay. Rules of finding significant figure. So we have here given 5 rules. So first is, all non-zero digits are significant figure. For example, 4362M has 4 significant digit or 4 significant figures. Why? Because all digits are non-zero, that's why. Okay. Then second is, all zeros occurring between non-zero digit are significant figure. All zeros occurring between non-zero digit. Okay. So here in example we have given the number is 1005. So 1 and 5 are non-zero digit and in between non-zero digit, that is 0 0. So here we consider 4 significant figure. Okay, then third thing is that all zeros to the right of the last non-zero digit are non-significant. So here in example we have given 6250, number 6250. So it is only 3 significant figure. We don't count last digit because it is 0, it is not 0, that's why. Then the 4 is in a digit less than 1, all zeros to the right hand of the decimal point to the left of a non-zero digit are non-significant. So in example we can see that from the decimal point of the left hand side and right hand side both are 0. So here we only considering 3 significant figure, that is 3, 2 and 5. Okay, and 5 is all zeros to the right of the non-zero digit in the decimal part are significant. So here we can see that after decimal point there are 4 digit, 4750. Okay, and after decimal, before decimal, that is non-zero digit series. So here we consider 5 significant figure. Okay, now students, our another topic it is rules of rounding of significant figures. So first is given, if the digit to be dropped is less than 5, then preceding digit is left unchanged. So here one example is given, that is 1.54 is round off to 1.5. But why? Because here 4 is less than to be 5. So because 4 is less than to 5, that's why. So 5 is unchanged. So we can round off this particular, for this number it is 1.5. Okay, and the second thing is that if the digit to be dropped is greater than 5, then the preceding digit is raised by 1. So here one example is given, that is 2.49 is round off to 2.5. How? Because 9 is greater than to the 5. So we raise the 1. So we raise the preceding digit by 1. So here 4 replaced by 5. Okay, so we round off this number, that is 2.5. Okay, now the third thing is that if the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by digit other than 0, then the preceding digit is raised by 1. Okay, so suppose in some example here is given 3.55 is round off to 3.6. When the 55 is repeat, so preceding digit are raised by 1. So here the round of this particular number it is 3.6. Okay, if the digit to be dropped is 5 or 5 followed by zeros, then the preceding digit is raised by 1 because it is suppose odd. Okay, or if it is even, so the preceding digit are unchanged. Okay, so here in example it is given 3.750 is round off 3.8. Why? Because before the 5 the preceding digit are odd, so it is raised by 1. So here we can round off this digit, it is 3.8. Okay, and here another thing is that, another example is given 4.650 is round off 4.6. How? So here before 5 the preceding digit are 6, so it is even. So when even preceding digit are unchanged. Now we talk about errors. So the lack in accuracy in measurement due to the limit of accuracy of the instrument or due to the any other cause is called an error. So here the absolute error, here error is many types, that is absolute error, then mean absolute error, then percentage error. Okay, so we see one by one. First of all we see absolute error. So the difference between the true value and the measured value of a quantity is called absolute error. If suppose A1, A2, A3 up to n are the measured value of any quantity A in experiment performed n number of times, then the arithmetic mean of this value is called true value AM of this quantity. So here AM is A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to AN. Okay, summation of a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an divided by n. Okay, so a1, a2, a3 up to n are the measured value of any quantity a in experiment performed n times. Then the arithmetic mean of this value is called the true value m of the quantity. Okay, and here the absolute error in measured value is given by delta a1 is equal to am minus a1, am minus a2, am minus a3 up to an minus an. Okay, so that is called absolute error. Now the second thing is that mean absolute error. Okay, so the arithmetic mean of the magnitude of absolute error in all measurement is called mean absolute error. So we mean this particular absolute error. Okay, so delta a mean magnitude of delta a1 plus magnitude of delta a2 up to magnitude of delta an divided by n. So that is called mean absolute error. And the third is relative error. The ratio of the mean absolute error to the true value is called relative error. Okay, so relative error means mean absolute error divided by true value. Okay, so delta a mean delta a upon am. Okay, then the fourth one is percentage error. So the percentage error is a relative error expressed in percentage. Relative error is expressed in percentage. So here we can multiply by 100%. Okay.